Hello and welcome to hopefully a very interesting yet snappy and to the point video on how to develop programs using Python. Now you are probably watching this because you've been given a task to develop a quiz using a programming language called Python. You've never done IT before, you've got no idea what's going on, and this video will hopefully explain and show you a little bit about how you can use Python to start developing your own programs. Now very quickly, a bit of context. Python is a quite renowned programming language used in industry by professionals to develop games, the back-end coding for websites, and a whole wide range of different software solutions. Now there are two ways you can use Python, one being downloading it, but what I'm going to show you is the much quicker way using an online version. So just go into Google and search for online Python compiler. You can see I use it a lot, which is why it's popped up straight away. Click enter, and the one you want to find is the onlinegdb.com website. Now in this video I'm going to introduce you to 3, maybe 4 different key commands you need to use to start developing your quiz. First one being print, which is there for you, fantastic. Second, we are going to learn how to use input, and lastly we'll learn how to use if statements. Now we would need to use a print command if we wanted to output information from the computer. Now this is really important because the user needs to be able to find out and read what the program is doing. Print will allow the user to read information from the program and have it presented to them somewhere on this Python interface. Input does what it says on the tin essentially. Input allows you to input information to the program. This could be numbers, letters, words, a whole range of different inputs. And if you remember using Scratch back in year 7, hopefully I won't need to explain what an if statement does. So very quickly, let's just look at one of these commands. You've written print hello world. You want your program to execute. Go to the top, press run, and hello world is presented on the bottom of the screen. Now it's really important to remember that the syntax in Python is really strict. So for example, if I didn't use a speech mark here, I would get an error message, and it would hopefully give you an indication into what the error is. So it's really important that you test your program on a regular basis to find out where your errors are. So what have we learned? Brackets come in pairs, as do speech marks. So let's get started developing your very own quiz. Now the question I'm going to construct is going to be very simple. It's going to be a closed question, just so we can get through all of the different techniques as fast as possible. So first thing you want to do is print the question to the user so that the user can actually see what the question is. What is the capital of the UK? You could even do little things like printing the question number, print question 1. Little things to make the program a little bit easier. Remember, test your program on a regular basis, run, and you can see it's printed the question number and the question. Now what we want to do, we could leave this as an open question so we don't tell the user any options, but for the sake of making it as easy as possible for the user to engage with your quiz, let's give them some options. So option A, as in the first option, will be the UK. So if the user wanted to select the UK, they would type in A as their answer. Let's also give them another option. Let's give them B. So B could equal Manchester, for example. Right, so now we've got a question number, we've got the question, and we've got 2 options. Let's run the program. Fantastic, that works. Now what we need to do is give the user an opportunity to enter their choice. Okay, it's really important that we allow the user to input their actual answer. Now what we need to use is an input command. But when we use an input command, we need to also give it a variable name. So I'm going to call it answer and then 1. So answer for question 1 equals input. Then here you've got a range of different options. You could simply put the question again inside the input box, and it would say, what is the capital of the UK? Let's not double up our speech marks. And then you could give them a message like, please enter A or B, something like that. then let's not forget the speech mark at the end. Then let's test this program to see if it works. Errors are part of programming. I may have used, oh, fantastic. So what is the capital of the UK? Please enter A or B. I'm giving them some instruction, and you can see here that it's slightly highlighted this section. This is prompting the user, please enter something. So I could type in P, and then the program finishes. But now what we want to do is detect if the user has entered the correct answer or not. Now to do this, we need to use an if statement. If answer 1, which is the name of the variable for what the user is going to type in, equals A, then it's really important at the end we use a colon. We use colons for a range of different techniques. If is one of them, where we need to have a colon at the end. So now what you would have noticed is after you constructed the if statement line and used your colon, on the next line it has slightly indented the cursor, and this is saying, all right, anything you type now is now associated with this if statement. So if this if statement is true, if the answer 1 equals A, I am going to do this, and this is a way we can select which lines of code to execute. Now if the user enters A, it means they are correct, and all we can do here is say correct, fantastic. Now the quick way of doing this would be to use an else statement, because if they've not typed in A, then of course they are incorrect. There are other techniques you can use which I'm not going to explain in this video, but you can use another if statement, for example, or you could use elif, which does something very similar. So you could have a range of different if statements in this one quiz program section for this question. But I'm just going to say if answer equals 1, you are correct. Answer 1 equals A, sorry, you are correct. Else print incorrect. Okay, very simple. So let's test this program to see if it works. Question 1 was the capital of the UK. A equals the UK. I keep doing this, and I did put a mistake in there on purpose. London, of course. Mr. Skelly is showing his lack of geography there. Fantastic. All right, so this is happening because I have not entered an answer. So let's just put anything down here. Incorrect. Now, I of course did put this mistake on purpose just to test you. All right, just to test you, of course. So let's run the program one more time, see if that works. What is the capital of the UK? A or B? A. Correct. Fantastic. Now we can also test the other else statement, and let's type in B. Incorrect. Fantastic. So there are a range of different additions you could make to this program. You could of course add score variables so that the score goes up or down. You could change this so that instead of them typing in A, they need to type in a word. So that would make it a little bit harder, for example. And you can also add quite a few extra techniques, which should all be explained and detailed in the cross-curricular pack booklet that you should all have access to. Now, if you have any questions about how to use Python, oh yes, one more thing. It's really important that you save your work. So you can either just copy and paste it at the end of your session, or you can just press save, and then you can select where to save it to. But to be honest with you, I would just right click, copy, and I would paste that somewhere in a Word document or in an email. Paste your source code somewhere, because if you were to close this program, your work will not be saved. So it's really important that we right click, copy, and then we go somewhere else, maybe on our emails, and send a copy of it to ourselves on email, and we can use it next time round. There are other things you can do as well, so you can share the link with people. Yeah, there are a range of different techniques, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to figure it out. There's also a download code as well, which will just save your program somewhere in your computer. Okay? Like I said, any questions, please do not hesitate to contact your IT teacher, your form teacher, or Mr. Skelly, myself. And yeah, let's get programming. Good luck, and see you soon.